Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so pumped you're here today because, well, we're going on a bit of a quest. And hey, forget everything you remember about those dry, sleep-inducing math classes, all right? Today, we're not just memorizing boring rules. We are building a seriously powerful toolkit for conquering massive numbers. Whether you're managing inventory, doing a budget, or just looking at big data, mastering 5, 6, or even 7-digit numbers, it's literally a superpower. And by the end of our time together, you're going to have total confidence pulling it off.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. First up, the blueprint, where we tackle addition. Then, the takeaway, diving into subtraction. Third is the training ground. Fourth, we've got the cheat code, using estimation. And finally, some real-world boss battles.
Section 1. The blueprint, building the foundation of large numbers.
You know, the beautiful thing about math is that all massive numbers, no matter how scary they might look, are built on super simple foundations. To really bring this to life, imagine a bustling local bakery. The place smells amazing, right? Now, they've just baked 12,750 chocolate cookies and 11,638 vanilla cookies. To figure out the grand total, we just need to combine these two huge groups.
And what we're looking at right now brilliantly shows the ultimate secret to 5-digit math. It's all about spatial alignment. You can't just mash numbers together willy-nilly. You absolutely have to respect their place value. Notice how everything is neatly stacked, units over units, tens over tens, hundreds over hundreds, and so on. If your foundation isn't perfectly lined up vertically like a skyscraper, the whole thing just topples over. Truly perfect stacking is half the battle won.
So once we're stacked up, we work strictly right to left. Units are a breeze. 0 plus 8 is 8. Tens, easy peasy. 5 plus 3 is 8. But check out step 3, the hundreds column. 7 plus 6 is 13. Now, we obviously can't cram a 2-digit number into one tiny column, right? So we use what's called carrying. We write down the 3, and we carry that 1 right on over into the thousands column. It's kind of like a relay race where you pass the baton to the next runner. Then we just finish it up. 2 plus 1 plus our carried 1 gets us 4. And then we just finish out the 10,000s.
And boom, there's our grand total. Our bakers successfully cranked out 24,388 cookies. That's a lot of cookies. But see how taking it just one column at a time makes a giant number totally manageable? You just successfully used your first major tool.
Section 2, the takeaway, subtracting and the art of regrouping.
Okay, obviously making the cookies is only half the battle. Now we actually got to sell them. On the left, we've got our starting inventory, 24,388 cookies ready to go. And on the right, we've had a killer day of sales, moving 13,195 cookies. But to figure out exactly what's left sitting in the kitchen, well, addition isn't going to help us anymore. We need a brand new foundational tool, subtraction.
Now, the good news? The fundamental blueprint is exactly the same as before. Perfect place value stacking. We put our starting inventory right on top and those sales numbers directly underneath. Everything is perfectly aligned from the units on the far right all the way over to the 10,000s on the left. Now, what's really fascinating here happens in the second step. We start on the right again. 8 minus 5 is 3. Simple. But in the tens column, we hit a total brick wall. We have 8, and we need to take away 9. You just can't do that without dropping into negative numbers. And that does not work when you're going column by column. So what do? We use the borrowing or regrouping mechanic. We basically knock on the door of our neighbor, the hundreds column, borrow a 1, and turn our little 8 into a solid 18. Now, 18 minus 9, that gives us a clean 9. By systematically borrowing from the neighbor to the left anytime we run short, we can literally navigate any subtraction problem. Following that exact same logic all the way down the line, we arrive at our answer. 11,193 cookies left in the bakery. Awesome job. You've officially added the subtraction and regrouping tool to your utility belt.
Section 3, the training ground, testing our new tools at scale.
All right, so you've got the blueprint, and you totally understand carrying and borrowing. Let's try a quick, rapid-fire mental workout to see how these tools hold up on a massive scale. Take a look at this one. 806,503 plus 494,928. Yeah, it looks pretty intimidating, right? But just mentally apply your toolkit. Units, 3 plus 8 is 11. Carry the 1. Just keep shifting that baton to the left. Try to visualize carrying those ones right across the hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s columns.
And there it is. The total is 1,301,431. Did you notice how effortlessly those basic mechanics just scale right up? Once you cross that threshold, you're not just adding hundred thousands anymore. The answer naturally bumps you right up into the millions.
The rules didn't change at all. Literally just the scale did.
Okay, let's pivot real quick to a super tricky subtraction scenario. Look really closely at how these numbers are stacked. 651,085 minus 2,318. Notice anything? The bottom number has way fewer digits. If you were rushing and you accidentally lined up that bottom number against the left side, oh man, your entire calculation would be totally ruined. This right here reinforces the absolute most critical rule of all. Your place value alignment has to always anchor to the right side, the units column.
When you anchor to the right like a pro and apply your borrowing tool, you cleanly arrive at 648,767. If you tracked with that logically, your mastery is seriously growing exponentially right now. You are handling 6-digit math like an absolute boss.
Section 4. The cheat code. Using estimation for quick checks.
You know, sometimes you just don't need the exact number right that second. You just need to know if your calculation is in the right ballpark. Think of estimation as your personal safety net. Here's how it plays out. On the left, our exact math tells us 385 plus 82 equals 467. But what if we made a sneaky carrying error? Well, we can instantly double-check it by glancing at the right side. We just round 385 up to 390, we round 82 down to 80. And 390 plus 80, that is super easy to do in your head. It's 470. Because our exact answer of 467 is practically hugging our estimate of 470, we can be incredibly confident that our math is solid.
So, the really crucial takeaway here is that this works brilliantly for massive numbers too. Just look at the exact subtraction on the left. It is a tangled mess of 6-digit numbers. But if we round them off, treating 579,094 as roughly 579,000 and 109,533 as, say, 110,000, suddenly the mental math is a total breeze. 579 minus 110 is 469. So our estimated answer is 469,000. It is a brilliant, lightning-fast way to check your work without getting bogged down in the weeds.
Section 5. Real-world boss battles. Applying the toolkit to everyday life. Let's be honest, numbers mean absolutely nothing if we can't apply them to real life. So let's see your toolkit in action. Imagine you're managing two massive toy factories. Factory A produced 50,384 toys. Not bad. But Factory B pumped out 53,912 toys. Seeing this visualized, you instantly spot a performance gap. So if your boss runs in and asks, hey, exactly how many more toys did Factory B produce, you know exactly what to do. Grab your subtraction tool. 53,912 minus 50,384. You apply those borrowing skills and you confidently tell them the difference is exactly 3,528 toys.
Let's swap over to a retail setting and see how this builds. Here we have a shop tracking their clock sales through two totally different channels. They moved 35,114 through one channel and 19,999 through the other. To find out the total contribution to the business, we look at these two slices making up a complete whole. This is a classic case for our addition tool. We stack them, we carry the ones, and we quickly hit a massive grand total of 55,113 clocks sold.
All right, let's finish up with an absolute giant of a real-world problem. You're reviewing quarterly revenue. March brought in a whopping $734,600. April followed up with $825,300. You stack these figures together, you perfectly align your place values right to left, and you execute the addition. The final sum? A jaw-dropping $1,559,900. Just look at the size of that number. You just calculated a sum of over $1.5 million with total pinpoint precision. That right there is the ultimate proof of the skills you built today.
Thanks for watching. Bye, students. Don't forget to subscribe for more math fun videos. See you in the next lesson.